Hey Dream Babe, welcome back to the Dream Woman Society, where we don't just talk about leveling up, we become her. Okay, today's topic is so dear to me because this ultimately, all of the things I'm going to discuss have changed my mindset around financial literacy, and it is so powerful. Okay, so if you're serious about becoming the woman of your dreams, I'm about to give you 4 books that is going to change the way you think about money forever. Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the first book. All right, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It is by Robert Kiyosaki. This is a very, very extremely popular book. It is the foundation of financial literacy. This book sets the tone for changing your mindset when it comes to thinking about money. So I don't want to ruin any of these books for you, but I want to give you a little bit and touch a little bit on the basis of each book and what I've pulled from it. So Robert talks about a rich dad, of course, and a poor dad. The rich dad was the dad who invested, he started a business, and he ultimately had financial freedom, right? The poor dad was the dad who had a master's degree. I believe it was a master's degree. He was a teacher and he was always poor, right? And Robert talks about how his poor dad told him to go to school and, get his education so that he would be set and he would be fine throughout life. And Robert talks about the point where he looks at him and he's like, "You're broke. You don't have any money. Mom is crying about finances. Why would you want me to go and do the same thing that you did? And you are not happy with life right now." So this book also talks about investing. It talks about ways to save your money. It talks about liabilities versus income streams, right? It talks about how a house is a liability because you're not getting income from that house, right? And, different income streams would be, you renting out that house and getting money from the people staying in your home monthly, right? Your tenants. So very good financial literacy book for the foundation of finances, okay? That would be number 1 where I would tell you to start at. The second one is not really related to finances, but it helps with your habits. So it would help with gaining those good money habits to help you to know how to steward your money well, know how to save your money, and know how to think a little differently when it comes to what you should do with your money. And that is Atomic Habits. When I tell you this is another powerful book, life-changing book, changed my life forever. And it's not just about, it's not really anything about finances, but it's about how to develop good habits in general and how to break bad habits, right? This book is amazing for life. I read it about 2 years ago, and I honestly think this is a book that you can read probably twice a year. Very informational, very mindset shifting. This book is amazing. James Clear is brilliant. I actually watched a interview with him and Mel Robbins. I need to watch it again because he is just so freaking smart. He is brilliant. This man, you're just like, whoa, what did he just say? Like, you have to listen to him 2 or 3 times because what he says out of his mouth, it won't click the first time. And I'm telling you, he is so very intelligent. This book is, I think it's a #1 bestseller for New York Times. Freaking amazing. And what I pulled from this book, one of the things that I keep with me is that you can have a day off, right? You say you don't want to go to the gym because you're tired, you need to rest your body. We need rest. We are human beings. We are not robots, right? But you take that day off. If you do it again another day, now you are creating a new habit. So you have the habit of going to the gym 4 days a week. Maybe you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and you want to take that Saturday off. That's fine. But if you skip out on Monday, now you're creating a new habit, which is ultimately a bad habit. And more than likely, it's not gearing towards your goals. So Definitely, I would tell you to read this book next, because once you gain the fundamentals of money and investing, you're going to want to know how to start putting that into motion, into action, and start saving your money and investing it. Okay. The next book is a book that I talked about in my last video, Managing Money God's Way by Bob Loach. Okay. This book is a 31-day devotional. Each day you will read a page with scriptures, and it tells you how God wants you to steward your money. For me, money is spiritual. It is energetic, and it's also a spiritual thing for me, right? And I'm realizing in this season that if I am a good steward with my money in the way that God wants me to steward it, I am getting blessings by the 10x. Okay. And that is financially, that's monetarily. My bank account is just, I cannot begin to explain the blessings that God is just pouring over my life in this season, right? Not to say the next season it won't change. God forbid. I hope that it doesn't, right? But in this season, God is blessing me. And I honestly believe that it's because on a spiritual level, I learned and understood how money works in the way that God wants us to use it and steward it and give it as well. And the next book is Girls That Invest by Simran Kaur. I think that's how you say her name. This book is the fundamental book for investing into the stock market, okay? She gives you all of the basics with everything you'll need to know so that you should feel comfortable going into the stock market. Now, when I was reading this book, I was also taking Wall Street Trapper's Jumping Off the Porch investment course. So, and I've talked about this in other videos, that investment course is so inspirational, so informational. Like, reading this book, this is a very good book. I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't like the book, but reading this and also taking his course, like, I would say if you take his course, you actually want to go into like day trading and you want to make investing a full-time thing in your life. Like, it's not going to be a part-time thing, or it's not going to be what I do is I invest and I just kind of leave my portfolio where it is. You're supposed to check your portfolio every 6 months to recalibrate it and, check over your stocks and everything like that. So I will be checking into it within the 6-month mark, but I did not want to become a day trader. I wanted to get the knowledge so that I can learn and understand what I'm doing within the stock market. But so very different takeaways. So with Simran Kaur, Girls That Invest, that book gives you the fundamentals and the basics so that you understand investing. She also talks about like her life experiences, and she is a minority. I believe she's Indian, so she can relate to other Black women. And she just kind of gives a breakdown of her life story and everything she went through and how she got into investing. She also puts in there other women, and she gives examples of their portfolios so you can understand, how they have their percentage set up in different stock markets and different investments. So, and Wall Street Trapper, Jumping Off the Porch, for his investment course, 42 videos. I believe I counted 42 videos. I had a notebook that was mostly halfway filled with notes. It is that much information. I try to do like 2 videos a day and read 10 pages of this because I was doing them both at the same time. And amazing. His course is amazing. I encourage all of the women in the Dream Woman Society to take that course if you are looking to invest, if you want to create generational wealth for your family, and you're looking to leave a legacy for your children, for the people that you love and you care about. Get his course. Definitely get this book as well. I would say read this first and then take his investment course. Baby, thank me later, okay? Thank me later. All right, so that is the 4 books that I would encourage all of you ladies in the Dream Woman Society to purchase. I'm going to link them all in my Amazon store, so you should not have an issue with getting them. It'll be every book that I've actually read, so you won't have to look for that book and, get any kind of misconceptions or misunderstandings if this is the right book. Because some of these books have different copies and different editions and things like that. So I'll put the exact books that I read, so you can go straight there and order your book and get ready to get your money mindset in order. Okay, so the first book is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The second book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. The third book is Managing Money God's Way by Bob Loach. And the fourth book is Girls That Invest by Simran Kaur. I would encourage you to read each book the way that I have them listed. That's what I did. I read each book, in this order, and it just kind of seemed to click, and it kind of seemed to work for me. But everybody's different. Do some research on these books to figure out which one in which order would work best for you, because I would say put them into a perspective. Okay, my next book I plan to read is Think and Grow Rich. So I started this book a few years ago, and I just can never seem to finish it. I got to page 80 and I put it down and never picked it back up. But this is another amazing financial literacy book. People rave about this book. It's by Napoleon Hill. It is very, very, very popular. I think 15 million copies have been sold worldwide. So I want to tap into that. I have it actually over there. I'm going to get into it tonight. I always try to read 10 pages a day. So I actually want to get back into that, and I am reading YouTube secrets because I want to learn the ins and outs of YouTube. I'm trying to grow my platform and really develop my community with you ladies, and I want to give you so much value and so much impact. So how can I do that if I don't invest and learn into the skill? So I'm reading YouTube secrets, and I also want to read again Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I just found out, I was listening to a girl on YouTube yesterday. There is a Think and Grow Rich called Black Choice. This is the Black edition of Think and Grow Rich. My mind is blown, and I am so excited to tap into that book. So what she basically said is this book is about all of our ancestors, back in the slave times, who developed all these different inventions and became millionaires and just ultimately did really, really amazing things with their life. So that is so inspirational. I'm so excited to tap into that. I already ordered it off of Amazon, okay? I didn't even start Think and Grow Rich over again, babe, okay? I am going to zoom through Think and Grow Rich because I want to tap into the Think and Grow Rich Black Choice. So I am so excited. I hope you found some value in these books that I listed, and my perspective and takeaway from what I've learned and what I kept with me through reading these books. All right. So if you found value in these books, I want you to subscribe to the Dream Woman Society today. Okay. I want you to I want you to share, I want you to comment. Put down below some financial literacy books that you have read in the past that have really changed your life, and also what books you may want to read or what you have done research on. And if you liked any of the books that I listed today, put that down in the comments below. I love reading what you ladies have to say. I love to read your experiences, and I'm always looking for new books to read. I enjoy reading so freaking much. I remember I was a young girl. I was about 16 years old when I found my love for reading, and I used to carry all the big Harry Potter books in my book bag, in my little shoulder bag, with all my notebooks, all my pens, all my markers. I love reading. I am a constant learner. I believe that learning is the outlet to becoming the woman of your dreams. You have to continue learning. I always advise my Dream Woman Society to pick a skill and narrow in on it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, preferably something that will make you another stream of income. Pick something, YouTube, learn a service, learn AI. Figure out something that you can narrow in on and lock in on for 30 days, 30 to 90 days. until you become proficient and you master it. My thing right now is YouTube. So I'm watching all the YouTube videos. I have YouTube Secrets, the book that I'm reading. I do 10 pages a day. I think I'm on like page 100. But reading is so fundamental. Reading will change your life, and reading will change you as a person. Okay? We leave no dream woman behind, right? So I want you to, I'm going to link down below the Dream Woman Blueprints. And if you are on a journey to leveling up and you find yourself just kind of stuck there, you may be getting easily distracted, right? You may be working in a survival mode. You may be, feeling a little down or having very low self-esteem. I want you to get the Dream Woman Blueprint, okay? This is going to help you to level up your mindset, level up your physical, level up you as a woman, okay? It's going to release those blockages that you are holding on, that you don't even know that you're holding on to, right? So this is a devotional that is very powerful. You're going to devote to it. You're going to use it as a tool to help you change your life. Okay. That's going to be linked down below. So I want you to grab that and just take your time with that. You have to do something. So nothing changes if nothing changes, right? If you find yourself constantly stuck, there's this woman that God has for you to be. There's this woman that you dream of to be within this big, beautiful home, with this beautiful, loving family, driving her dream car, working in her dream career, whether it's a, corporate job or it is entrepreneurial. She is just living her best life. She is so soft, right? She is so elegant. She smells so good. She looks so amazing. She's at her goal weight. Okay. She has this amazing man that loves on her day in and day out and treats her like a queen, right? I believe that is the life that we all deserve. But nothing changes if nothing changes, okay? So I want you to grab your Dream Woman Blueprint and let's start working on you becoming the woman of your dreams. Go and be her, baby, okay? She's there. She's waiting for you. She's just ready for you to make the commitment to change, okay? So I want you to have a wonderful day. Do everything with love.